Alright, so today we're going to be solving equations with variables on both sides. Pause if you need to write down the title, please. Also, I just want to explain, variables just means letters, which means you're going to have like X's on both sides or A's on both sides. So I'm going to show you how to do that, okay? So, let's get started. Steps. For this stuff, the first step is you get the letters on the same side. Letters on the same side. So I want all the X's on the same side, or all the A's, or all the whatever it is, okay? And the second thing is you just solve like normal. I'm only adding one new step. Everything else is the same. So you only have one step that's new. Everything else is the same, okay? So write this problem down, hit pause, okay? The first thing we always do is draw our line. That does not change, okay? The next thing that we do is we need to get the X's on the same side. So you could, I have a 5X here and a 2X here. So you could bring the 2X over here, or you could bring the 5X over here. Math people tend to bring it to the left side, but it doesn't really matter. So I'll show you both throughout the note video, okay? I'm going to bring this over here, okay, because they're both X's. However, remember, if I'm going to do that, I have to do the opposite. So what is the opposite of plus 2X is subtracting 2X, okay? I'm going to write minus 2X over here. Make sure you write it underneath the X. Don't put it underneath the 1. This is an X. It needs to go with an X. So minus 2X, okay? So these are opposites. That goes away. And then the only reason I can subtract these things is because they're the same. They are like terms, because that's an X and that's an X, okay? So what is 5X minus 2X is 3X, right? My plus 1 comes down, and then my 13 comes down. Now this should look very familiar. After that first step, then it's easy, right? Your X, that's your best friend. I'm kicking this guy out. The opposite of adding 1 is subtracting 1, okay? Those go away. 3X equals 13 minus 1 is 12. Okay, this should be very familiar. The opposite of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. X equals, either in your head or the calculator, 12 divided by 3 is just 4. And that's it. Okay, so yet again, this first step is the only thing that's new. Okay, you have to get the letters on the same side. It does not matter which side, but they have to be on the same side. Okay, so that's problem number 1. Let's go to problem number 2. Go ahead and write it down. 2 plus 3b equals 5b minus 10. I'm going to draw my line. We normally bring the 5b over here, but just to show you, I'll go ahead and bring this one over here. It doesn't matter, you just got to get the letters on the same side. So I'm going to bring this over here. So what is the opposite of adding 3b is subtracting 3b on both sides. Okay, make sure you're writing it underneath the b's. Don't put it behind over the 10. Okay, these go away. You're left with 2 equals, and then again, 5 minus 3. 5 minus 3 is just 2, so 2b, and then you bring down your minus 10. From here, it should look very familiar. Your b, that's your best friend. I'm kicking this guy out. The opposite of subtracting 10 is adding 10 on both sides. Okay, that goes away. 2 plus 10 in your head or the calculator is 12. And then the 2b comes down. Good. Your b, I need to get rid of the 2. So the opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. So yet again, all this should be very familiar. It's just the first step that's different. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So some things to remember from this note video. It does not matter which side you go on. You can move this over here or that over there. Doesn't matter. And then just solving like normal. Okay? Then we have 2 more. Maybe 3 more. No, 2 more. Both are picked for a reason, so make sure you're writing them down. Go ahead and draw your line. Here. Okay, pause if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and bring this guy over here, but there's no number here. And remember, if there is no number, the number is 1. Okay? I'm going to get my x's together. What is the opposite of a positive 6x? Is negative 6x. And make sure you write it underneath the x. Okay, don't write it underneath the 5. Make sure the letters go together. That goes away. 1 minus 6. If you tell me 5, I'm going to be mad at you. Use your calculator. 1 minus 6 is a negative 5. So make sure you put negative 5x minus 5 equals, and then this 15 just comes down. It's a positive 15 because it says plus 15. All right? Your x, that's your best friend. I'm kicking out subtracting 5. The opposite of subtracting 5 is adding 5 to both sides. This goes away. I have negative 5x equals 15 plus 5 is just 20. This should be very familiar, only that first step is new. Side by side is multiplied. The opposite of multiplying is dividing by negative 5. That goes away. X equals 20 divided by negative 5 is negative 4. Okay? So it works. All right? One last problem and then we're done. All right. A minus 6 equals 18 minus 5a. You can go ahead and draw your line. You could bring this over here. You could bring the a over there. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and bring my a to my left because that's what math people tend to do. I'm going to go ahead and write a 1 right there as well. The opposite of subtracting 5a is adding 5a to both sides. Make sure you write it underneath the a. Okay? These go away. 1 plus 5 is just 6. 6a. Okay? Bring down minus 6 equals 18. Yet again, from here, it's the same. Your a, that guy's your best friend. I'm kicking this guy out. The opposite of subtracting 6 is adding 6 on both sides. Okay? 6a comes down. 18 plus 6 in your head or in the calculator is 24. So you put 24 here. And then you divide by 6. Very simple, okay? Only the first step is new. And 24 divided by a positive 6 in your head of the calculator is just a regular 4. Okay? So, that's what this is. Now, before you move on, and I'm hoping you're listening to the whole thing, just be aware that on this assignment, I'm going to mix up. So you're going to have A's on both sides, but don't freak out. Like if I give you, you don't have to write this down, but if I give you something that's simple like this, so do you have to get the A's on the X's together? They're already together, right? So you're going to see a combination of the easier ones plus the harder ones. And don't freak out and ask questions if you need to, okay? So if you have any questions, let me know. If not, get to work.